Do you struggle to discover your purpose? Are there moments where you're just like, why am I here? In today's video, we're going to be breaking down and explaining principles and keys to help you discover your purpose. And so before we get started, we always go live on Instagram. So let's just make sure our viewers over on Instagram are with us. And so I have notes, and purpose is one of those things. If you guys follow me on Instagram, my name on there is Kes on Purpose. And the reason why it's Kes on Purpose is because I have been trying to figure out this question for so long. Why am I here? It's one of those questions that I believe 100% of people have asked themselves. And only a very small percentage of people in this world actually ask themselves long enough to discover their purpose. And so today I'm going to be talking to you guys about purpose. Now, one of the first questions you might be asking is, why is this important? Why is purpose important? And the reason why I believe purpose is important is because every single thing that was created on this earth has a purpose. It was created to solve a problem. And so the understanding of what that purpose is not known to everyone, but everything was created to solve a problem. Like even this bottle right here, like, so it solves the water problem, right? And transportation. And so this solves a problem. The phone, like a cell phone, this solves a problem. And so every single thing that we have in life solves a problem. And why not for us? If everything in life solves a problem, then why wouldn't we be one to solve a problem as well? And so I believe that every single person that's here on this earth, like think about it, right? We are 1 in 500 million. Like it's 500 million sperms that go to the egg. And we're the one that was chosen or won the race. Do you think it's by coincidence? I don't think so. And so that's the reason why I know for a fact that every single person that's on here has a purpose. Now, here's the thing. Let's keep going. When you find and discover your purpose, I believe it's like a bat sign, right? Like it's like a bat sign where people could say and know exactly who you are. What do I mean by that? Now, if we look at Batman, when they needed Batman, they would go to the roof. The commissioner would go to the roof, and he would shine this bat signal. And so, in a similar way, how do you shine your bat signal? How do people know exactly what to come to you for? Because if I said for you to think of Tiger Woods, you would naturally think, oh, that's golf. If I said LeBron James, you would also think, oh, that's basketball. If I said, hey, my teeth is hurting, then you would know, like, oh, we need a dentist. And you would think about all the dentists that you know. And so all of these people have a purpose, and so you know exactly who to go to and why to go to them for that particular reason. And so that's the thing. When you have a purpose and people know that you're that person for that thing, they know they could come directly to you. And if you don't have a purpose, if people don't know why to come to you, then why would they come to you? What will you be known for? And this is one of the things that I think it's an opportunity that most people even miss in business. Like, why would people come to you out of all the real estate investors? Why would people come to you out of all the dentists, out of all the teachers? Doesn't matter what you do. The point is, why would people come to you? And when you serve in your purpose, then people are attracted to you. And now you're the person that most people would go to because they know and they understand, oh, this is the go-to person. When people talk about purpose and mindset, my name is brought up a lot. Like I get a lot of referrals from people because they know why I exist. This is my purpose, helping people discover their purpose and also helping them with their mindset to move them forward. I don't necessarily have to go wave a banner. My reputation speaks. And your reputation, your purpose is going to speak the exact same way once you discover it, right? And so let's move on as to some of the things. Here are some reasons why most people, that I believe most people do not discover their purpose. They don't discover their purpose is for some of these reasons. Number one, I think that it's the commitment. The commitment. Most people, when they hear about discovering their purpose, they think, oh my God, it's a commitment. And so they shy away from that question because they may not know what the answer is, or they just are afraid to not figure it out. And so it's really important to know, like, this commitment just feels very heavy. And so one of the things that I tell my clients is, hey, how about you try to discover a maybe purpose? How about we start with a maybe purpose? Because a maybe purpose kind of, as well as maybe it's this or maybe it's that. Because if it is that you don't start, then you would never know. And you don't want to ever know. Like, I don't want anyone to be on their deathbeds or at 70 something years old when your ability is just so much lower that you're now trying to pursue this thing. And listen, if you're in your 70s and you're hearing this video, please go for it. I'm not saying to not go for it. I'm saying that you should try to discover this purpose a lot earlier in life. And so that's one of the things. So if it is that commitment is one of your reasons, like the commitment just seems like a forever thing and that seems scary, I would say have a maybe purpose. And so that's the first thing. That's the first reason why I believe most people don't discover their purpose. Another reason I think most people don't go after it is because they're afraid of what other people would think. Because you've been doing the thing that you've been doing for so long, most people would be like, well, man, what would my mom think of me? What would my dad? What would my cousin? What would my friend? Like all of these people. And so you're living a life for others versus yourself. And what I know to be true is that where there is no purpose, there's no fulfillment. And if it is that you're not fulfilled, you're always going to be unhappy. And so when we live and don't pursue our purpose for this reason of thinking, what would others think about me? Now you're living a life that's not yours. Right? And nobody wants to do that. And so you have to be able to get past this notion of what would people think about me? And so that's the second reason. And then the third reason that I'm going to give on today's episode is most people don't understand how they could monetize their purpose. They're just not sure how to monetize their purpose. And so when somebody can't monetize their purpose, oftentimes they're like, well, what could I do with that? I'm going to just make sure I get myself in the place where I have enough passive income or I'm rich enough to be able to start living on purpose. Like, do you see how backwards that really is? Where you're trying to make money doing things that you absolutely hate to try to live on purpose. And so exactly when does this happen? Is it when you're 70, 65? Like retirement, right? It's very backwards. And so not being able to monetize, and believe you me, it is a challenge, right? So because when you discover your purpose, most people are not doing their purpose right now. And so they have to now figure out and learn an entire new language, if I may. And I say language because it's going to be different. It's going to be different than what you do now. And so there may be education that's necessary. There may be coaching that's necessary. There may be new friends that's necessary. New books, new associations, new everything that's necessary. And it's just a part of becoming. But what's the alternative? The alternative is you remain doing the thing that you don't like doing or you're not fulfilled by doing. And to me, that's no life I want to live. I'm not interested in living a life like that. And so I would rather spend or invest a year, 2 years, 4 years, 5 years, 10 years trying to figure out how I could live on purpose than to live 70 years not on purpose. Like I would take that 10-year investment just figuring out how to live on purpose than like my entire lifetime of being unhappy or not being fulfilled. And so what are some keys for you to be able to discover your purpose? Number one of the first things you could do to discover your purpose is, I believe your purpose gets you angry. What do you get angry about? Why do I say it's something that gets you angry? I believe that you have to have a level of conviction on the thing that drives you. And when you have that level of conviction in serving and doing a thing, then it brings you fulfillment. Now, I'll give you guys an example of my life. For me, I've been divorced. I've went through really traumatic, depressing time when I got divorced. And since I've been through that experience, now a part of my fulfillment is helping other married couples or helping men especially live on purpose, especially when it comes to their families. And so the divorce aspect, that gets me angry. Like I do not like that. And so just being a responsible man, being a man who could care for your family, your wife, like that's super passionate for me. And so, okay, now it becomes, how do you make that into a business, right? One of the things that we talked about before. And so people pay me to help them navigate relationships. And so it's one of those things that if this thing gets you angry, it could be a potential of a conviction that where you could walk in purpose. So that's number one. Does it make you angry? Number two, and I have some notes here. Number two, you'd also do it for free. And I'm not saying that it's a free, just passionate thing. I'm saying that because of the conviction of it, you would help somebody that's in need even if they didn't have the money to pay you. I help way more people in my line of work for free, even more than I get paid for. And the reason why is because I can't just see somebody going through something knowing that I have the answer to help them through and not help them. And so this is one of the reasons why I believe in discovering your purpose. It's something that you will also do for free. And many people, again, going back to one of the points that I made before, it doesn't mean you don't learn how to monetize your purpose. Or maybe some people just feel guilty monetizing their purpose. What about that? Right? Like maybe you just feel like, oh no, I'm not supposed to. And if that's you, God bless you. I do believe that God wants us to make a living or to be able to supply our needs with our purpose. That's my belief. So but you would also do it for free. And number three, I also believe, and I've said this before, is that you're going to be super passionate about it. And your conviction will be the thing that makes you passionate, right? Like, I would go to jail for my opinion as to how I feel about marriage. Like, that's the level of conviction that I have on what I believe is my purpose. Now, go ask Martin Luther King. He went to jail for his purpose and his beliefs. And here goes another principle that I also believe. I believe that your purpose will be tested for authenticity. Your purpose will be tested for authenticity. Because if it is that you're not willing to go through this season of life where it feels like, oh man, like if you think that your purpose is just going to be easy, I don't know, bro. Maybe it ain't for you. Because nothing is easy. Nothing in life is just given. And I think most people believe that their purpose just comes and it's supposed to be easy. And I totally disagree. I believe that your purpose will be tested for authenticity, because if it is that you're proclaiming a conviction and you're tested and then you switch to something else, then I don't believe that that was your purpose, because that feeling that's inside of you is supposed to convict you enough to say, man, I gotta push through. I have to push through. And so these are some of the principles and keys that I have used to help channel my purpose when I was going through the discovery phase. And it doesn't mean that your purpose isn't refined or grows. I think that your purpose is one of those things that you have a really great idea and you're on a path, but that path could be expanded. Right? Like, so I just gave you guys one of my purposes in helping married couples, and right now that looks small, right? Like, we help couples on a small scale. Now, what's small, right? Because big to some people might mean thousands of people. Now, am I a relationship coach that is worldwide? No. But what would I have to do to be able to get to that place? And so it would be the growth and growing and doing it in different places. That's the reason why I say your purpose could evolve, because it could look different in a different season. And so it doesn't mean that you're doing something totally different, but it could mean that it just evolves. And I believe that God would always have you grow your purpose, grow in purpose to achieve a bigger purpose, because that's the type of God He is. Multiply. Like, He's a God of multiplication. And so I just wanted to jump on real quick and give you guys some keys and tips that has helped me and I've used to help a lot of clients discover their purpose. Because, as I say this every single show, I believe that the ultimate failure is a life without fulfillment. All right, so peace and love. Catch you guys tomorrow. We'll be back tomorrow at 5 p.m. as we continue all of the conversations around marriage and business. All right, guys, peace and love. Catch you guys tomorrow.